Imagine a substance so powerful that a tiny amount of it could destroy an entire city. Not a bomb, not a nuclear weapon, something far smaller. Something so dangerous that scientists keep it trapped using magnetic fields, because if it touches normal matter for even a split second, it explodes instantly. And the strangest part? Humans have already created it. Right now, somewhere inside highly protected laboratories, the most expensive substance on Earth is being stored in microscopic amounts. Just 1 gram of it could cost roughly $62.5 trillion, making it the most expensive material on Earth. But the real question is not how expensive it is. The real question is, what would happen if someone actually learned how to make large amounts of it? Because if that day ever comes, modern society could change forever. Planes, cities, power grids, even entire countries could become vulnerable in minutes. And yet this same substance could also unlock the future of humanity. It could power spacecraft, revolutionize medicine, and possibly take humans deeper into space than ever before. So how can one material be both humanity's greatest breakthrough and its greatest nightmare? Let's explore it right here on Zentino Facts. To understand why this substance terrifies scientists, you first need to understand one simple thing about our universe. Everything around you is made of matter. Your phone, your body, the air, the earth itself. Matter is what gives physical things mass. Atoms make up matter, and inside those atoms are tiny particles like electrons and protons. But decades ago, scientists discovered something shocking. They realized nature had created an opposite version of matter, a mirror version, a reversed version, and this strange opposite is called antimatter. At first, the idea sounded impossible. How could something be the opposite of matter? But scientists discovered that antimatter particles behave almost exactly like normal particles, except their electric charges are reversed. For example, a normal electron has a negative charge, but an antimatter electron, called a positron, has a positive charge. And this is where things become terrifying, because when matter and antimatter touch, they do not mix, they do not bounce away, they completely destroy each other, instantly. And during that destruction, all their mass gets converted directly into pure energy. This process is called annihilation, and it releases an unbelievable amount of power, far more powerful than conventional explosions, far more powerful than most conventional weapons. In fact, antimatter is considered the most energy-dense substance ever discovered. A tiny amount could release energy equal to massive bombs. And this is not science fiction. Scientists have already seen it happen. But here's the part most people do not know. Antimatter already exists naturally around you. Some radioactive materials produce tiny antimatter particles. Lightning storms can create them. Even bananas release microscopic amounts because of radioactive decay. But these amounts are incredibly small and harmless. The real danger begins when humans intentionally create and store antimatter. And yes, we have already done that. Deep inside massive research facilities like CERN, scientists use giant particle accelerators to smash particles together at extremely high speeds. These machines are so advanced that they can briefly recreate conditions similar to the early universe, and during those collisions, antimatter particles appear. But creating antimatter is incredibly difficult. The process consumes enormous amounts of energy. And even after all that effort, scientists produce only microscopic amounts, tiny fractions of a gram, amounts so small they are almost invisible. Yet despite being microscopic, the cost is beyond imagination. Some estimates suggest 1 gram of antimatter could cost trillions upon trillions of dollars, making it the most expensive substance humans have ever produced. But cost is not the biggest problem. Storage is, because antimatter cannot touch normal matter, not metal, not glass, not plastic, nothing. The moment it touches ordinary matter, annihilation happens instantly. So scientists use powerful magnetic traps to suspend antimatter in empty space without letting it touch the walls of its container. Imagine trying to hold a drop of liquid that explodes the moment it touches anything. That's basically what scientists are dealing with. And this raises a disturbing question. What happens if containment fails? Right now, the answer is not much, because the amounts are tiny. But if humans ever learn how to mass-produce antimatter, everything changes. Just a few grams could release destruction on a terrifying scale. Some scientists believe antimatter weapons could become far more devastating than nuclear bombs. Unlike nuclear weapons, antimatter doesn't need a giant warhead. The energy comes directly from matter itself being converted into energy, meaning even small amounts could become catastrophic. And that possibility creates one of the scariest future scenarios imaginable, because modern society depends on fragile systems, power stations, communication networks, transportation systems, satellites, the internet, financial systems, hospitals. Everything is connected. Now imagine a weapon small enough to fit inside a container, yet powerful enough to destroy an entire city center in seconds. No mushroom cloud warning, no massive missile required, just pure energy released instantly. That's why antimatter terrifies experts, not because of what it is today, but because of what it could become tomorrow. But yet there is also another side to this story, because antimatter might also become one of humanity's greatest tools, especially for space travel. Right now, one of the biggest problems in space exploration is fuel. Traveling across space takes enormous energy. Traditional rockets are slow and inefficient for deep space missions, but antimatter could completely change that. Since antimatter releases so much energy from such tiny amounts, future spacecraft could theoretically travel much faster than current technology allows. Some scientists believe antimatter engines could one day help humans reach distant planets far more quickly, possibly even making interstellar travel more realistic in the future. And space is not the only area where antimatter already helps humanity. Believe it or not, antimatter is already used in medicine. PET scans used in hospitals worldwide rely on positrons, which are antimatter particles. These scans help doctors detect diseases like cancer. So even though antimatter sounds terrifying, it's also saving lives right now. And this is what makes antimatter so fascinating. It represents both destruction and progress at the same time, humanity's greatest danger and possibly one of its greatest opportunities. But there is still one final terrifying thought. The universe itself may have once contained equal amounts of matter and antimatter during the Big Bang. So if both existed equally, why does our universe seem to be made mostly of matter today? Where did all the antimatter go? Scientists still don't fully know, and solving that mystery could completely change our understanding of reality itself, because somewhere hidden inside this mystery may be the answer to why anything exists at all. And maybe that's the strangest part of this entire story. The most dangerous substance ever discovered is also helping humanity understand the universe itself. A substance so powerful it could destroy civilization, yet so mysterious it may explain why civilization exists in the first place. And the next time you hear scientists talking about antimatter, remember this: the real danger is not what humans can do with it today. The real danger is what humanity might eventually become capable of tomorrow. Thanks for watching.